Avengers, assemble. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back to the channel. If you're enjoying the videos we're producing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel as it helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. And if you're in a position to support the channel, you can follow a link in the description below to assemble on our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1. And I want to thank our most recent patron member, Spidey, for assembling with us, and to all of my Avenger and Founder tiers, thank you all so much for your support. So today we're talking about someone who I thought was long behind in terms of Marvel history, and that is Ike Perlmutter. Ike Perlmutter is planning a return to try and take over Marvel Comics and Disney, and he has a plan to seize that control, fire Bob Iger, fire Kevin Feige, and instill his own sycophants, I guess. Yes, men. I don't know. I don't know if just based on the people that Ike wants to get rid of, I don't think he's really. I don't think he likes the idea of any kind of dissent or disagreement. So, for those of you who don't know, Ike Perlmutter is an 81-year-old former chair of Marvel Entertainment. He is Donald Trump's biggest political donor, and he is Disney's largest solo share owner with 25 million shares to his name, worth around $2.3 billion. Now, you may remember that Ike Perlmutter was fired by Disney CEO Bob Iger when Marvel Studios was isolated and put under pretty much the direct purview of Kevin Feige. But that hasn't stopped him. Ike Perlmutter has teamed with fellow Disney investor Nelson Peltz and Peltz's firm Trian, and they are fighting for board seats at Disney, and they are also targeting Iger and Feige. So if you don't know, Disney expanded its board seats from 10 to 12, and Trian wants 3 of them. Now, Trian put out a statement saying, following conversations with Disney CEO, Disney extended an offer to Trian to meet with the board, but informed Trian that the board is turning down Trian's recent request for board representation, including Nelson Peltz. Since we gave Disney the opportunity to prove it could right the ship last February up to our re-engagement weeks ago, shareholders lost $70 billion of value. Disney's share price has underperformed proxy peers and the broader market over every relevant period during the last decade and over the tenure of each incumbent director. Investor confidence is low, key strategic questions loom, and even Disney's CEO is acknowledging that the company's challenges are greater than previously believed. While James Gorman and Sir Jeremy Derrick represent an improvement from the status quo, the addition of these directors will not, in our view, restore investor confidence or address the root cause behind the significant value destruction and missteps that this board has overseen. Trian intends to take our case for change directly to shareholders. Now, in response to this, Disney says that Perlmutter was terminated from his employment by Disney earlier this year and has voiced his long-standing personal agenda against Disney CEO Robert A. Iger, which may be different than that of all other shareholders. This dynamic is relevant to assessing Mr. Peltz and any other nominees he may put forth as directors. So, this is, if anything, a very, very personal vendetta, and this is pretty much a war between them. Now, a spokesperson for Perlmutter said that it was not from a personal grudge match, but rather for maximizing shareholder value for Disney stockholders. I don't believe that. I don't think anybody looking at this news believes that. So, Peltz and Perlmutter have pressured Iger to reduce costs and pay dividends to its shareholders since he returned from retirement to lead Disney a year ago. The Disney board has announced a cash dividend of 30 cents per share in January, which will net Perlmutter $7.5 million. So, if this doesn't sound personal, I don't know what else does. It's very clear that Ike wants to install his own people on the board so that he can slowly amass a majority, get Iger and Feige out, install himself, potentially I assume Perlmutter wants to either be, CEO of Disney or he wants back at Marvel or something. But he wants his own people in charge, and he wants to be in charge of this company. He wants to have a main majority stake in what happens, and he wants to install his own people. So this is interesting for a number of reasons. One, I don't see it happening. Like, just getting outside of, playing devil's advocate and having a conversation about what could happen, the fact of the matter is I don't see Perlmutter having the ability to garner interest from other directors on the board. I don't see him being able to sway these people. I'm pretty sure Disney and Marvel are safe from a certain point of view. Now, if you were someone as a fan looking at Disney and Marvel and you hate literally everything about them and you hate watch, I don't, then you might want Perlmutter to do, a season, a takeover. But realistically, he doesn't have the power. He simply doesn't have the friends on the board to do it. There's no signs he has the power or the majority to make this kind of takeover. If he did, frankly, in my opinion, things would only get worse. Perlmutter is renowned for being someone who has constantly pushed the Inhumans. Any time that Disney didn't own something, or rather Marvel didn't directly own something, he wanted nothing to do with it. He really had no interest in the comic books. He only wanted the synergy, and he only wanted to push what was going to be in theaters. I truly believe things would be worse with him in charge, because he just doesn't see the wider value of Marvel Comics, of their greater properties. He simply doesn't. He was the individual who did not want Iron Man in Civil War. What would that movie have been? And I'm not even the biggest fan of that Civil War adaptation, but at its core, it's supposed to be between Captain America and Iron Man. You take out Iron Man, what's your movie? So I don't believe he would be. He's a good fit. I don't believe he's someone who should be making creative decisions. He's not a creative person. And at the very least, I trust Feige far more than I trust Perlmutter. We've had numerous topics and videos on Perlmutter. You can go back and check those over. We have a long history. We've charted his history. He is not a creative, valuable asset to the company. He is dangerous, and he only wants sycophants serving him. That's it. That is not a creative partnership. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.